What is needed to be successful? 4 things. Number 1, talent. All of you have that, but you're not alone. There are a lot of people with talent out there, and talent in many different areas, not just academically, not just intellectually, across many different skill sets. But number 1, talent. Number 2, hard work. Work harder and longer than everybody else if you really want to be successful. But before you do that, ask yourself, do I really want to be successful? Successful in a vocational sense isn't everything in life. You might find you get greater happiness from a 9 to 5, starting a family early, having a wonderful social life and great friends, and that you don't reach those real career pinnacles. Think about that first. I worked 90 hours a week for 10 years. I've now cut down, I'm technically part-time, that's 50 to 55 hours a week. That's what it takes. I've already done the working hours that most people have done by the age they're 60 when they're retiring, right? And I've had the difficulties that have come with that. I've had the stress issues. Your social life isn't as good. So this is on how to be successful, but ask yourself first, do I really want that? There is a balance, there is a trade-off between success and happiness. And it's really important to think about it. Number 3, on what it takes to be successful, focus, zone, choose what you're doing, be absolutely the best. The narrower the field, hopefully it has some resonance, but the narrower the field and the better you are at it, the more your chance. Try and be too broad brush and it will not work. So we've got talent, hard work, focus. Number 4, luck. Sorry. You can do the first 3, you can do them all right, and you can still fail. And if that happens to you, don't think you did something wrong. Failure is a lesson in life. Some of you will do all of that and you will fail. Others will do all of that and you will succeed. And the only difference is one of luck. And don't beat yourself up about it. But before you start on the path, don't think there is any guaranteed route. If you want to make a lot of money, that's fine, but understand that what goes with that is a responsibility to the impact that you have on everybody else. For those of you who want to change the world, that's fine, but understand you can't forget the economics. They work both ways round. Don't be afraid to change path. You will be better at something that makes you happy. And if it makes you happy, you'll make more sacrifices and you won't feel as bad doing so. I am 22 years of age. Don't smile like that. In the world of work, I started working 22 years ago. Most of you are still fetal. And it's important to understand that, as clever and as bright and as ambitious as you are, most of you haven't started yet. And you don't know what that world is like. And until you've experienced it, you don't know what's right for you. Just be brave and do it early enough and go for happiness. It doesn't matter what I am. What matters is what skills I've acquired. I chaired a debate between the Israeli ambassador to the UK and the head of the Palestinian delegation to the European Union. They've got me putting bloody papers up on the wall for 5 weeks. What's going on here? And eventually I had the gumption to ask one of the senior partners, why am I still putting papers up on the wall? Do you know what he said? Look at the papers. That's not straight. That's crumpled. None of us can read them properly. You can't do it properly. Next morning, true story, I came in with a protractor. I measured my right angles. I ironed it down with a tube so that they were flat, and I stuck my drawing pins in every corner. And 2 days later, I was taken off putting the papers up on the wall. You're going to be like that. You're all bright, or at least you all think you are. Yeah? And you think, when you go into the world of work, that it should bow down and scrape at you. Many of you probably these days don't, because life's a bit tougher. But that's what many of us do. And actually, what you have to do is whatever job you get, I don't care if it's your part-time job that you're doing while you're at university just to make a little bit of cash on the side. Do it with absolutely every ounce of your ability. Because if you can't do the small jobs, no one's ever going to give you the big ones. So I did it, and I broke every single rule. Don't be afraid. First mover advantage is the most powerful weapon in any form of career. If you're the first and it's good, you're the best. I invented my own career based around what I'm good at. It's not a surprise I'm good at it. And this is something they don't teach you at school, and they don't really teach you in university. Life is full of uncertainty. There are many things we don't know the answer to. Now, it could be professional. For me, people ask me what's going to happen to the stock market. You're an expert. I have no idea. What's going to happen? People, should I buy my dollars now or in 3 weeks' time? Well, you'll all know quite rightly. I can't answer that question. If I could, the dollar would have already moved to be the new equilibrium based on what we all thought it would be. So you can't pre-predict what's going on with the market. Should I buy that house? Should I marry him or her? They all involve uncertainties. They're all things in which we can't know the answer to. And we're very bad at dealing with that. And we're very bad psychologically at understanding that. And what happens is worse. People then say, I made the wrong decision. No. You had a bad outcome. If you fixed the rate on your mortgage in 2007, and you fixed your mortgage because it gives me certainty of payment and it is within my budget and I can afford this price, the fact that interest rates then plummeted afterwards and you would have been far better off had you gone for a variable rate and you could have reaped the benefits of the decline in interest rates, doesn't make it a bad decision. You made the right decision based on the information you had at the time. And the problem with people then seeing that as a bad decision is it prevents you making the right decision again in future. So when you're making your decisions and uncertainty is involved, which it will be on virtually everything in the world, you have to hope for the best, plan for the worst, make the decision on the evidence you've got, recognize what is uncertain, and then afterwards, if it doesn't go right for you, don't blame yourself. So cut yourself some slack. I go back to the beginning of the 4 things for success. The last one is luck. And this, whether it's a life lesson or it's an important message, I hope some of you will be successful. I hope some of you will be more successful than I've been, provided you remember one thing. With success, whether that's financial, celebrated, academic, comes responsibility. Whether you like it or not, you become a role model to people. And it's important that you take that responsibility on board. You're not selfish. If you have the money, remember you're the fortunate one. Give back. I give it back because it made me, and I owe it, and I'm lucky. And that brings with it a responsibility. Pay it back.